Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Daily with, I guess, just me. Clay's not here, but I wanted to throw this out to you. There is a 12-year deadline for this income-boosting veteran benefit. It's from the VA. I want to share it with you here today. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. And let's jump into it. So, what we're talking about here is an income-boosting benefit that has 5 different avenues in which you could go down within it. And what am I talking about? I am talking about vr&e, Veterans Readiness and Employment. Many folks just hyper-focus on just doing an educational aspect, and that's it. And let's talk about what the 5 tracks are, how they impact you, how much money you'll get while you're going through the program, and how it can boost your income as well. So I'm going to touch on all those, so hang with me as we jump through the 5 tracks for Veterans Readiness and Employment. All right, so I'm on the VA's website. It says if you're a veteran or service member with a service-connected disability that impacts your ability to work, the Veterans Readiness and Employment Program may be able to help. We offer 5 support and services tracks to help you get education or training, find and keep a job, and live as independently as possible. Explore the different tracks to find out if you can how to apply for these benefits and services. So I'm just no real order here. I'm going to go through these 5 different options through vr&e. So the reemployment track, this is if you're a veteran with a service-connected disability. The reemployment track can help you return to your former job and support your employer in meeting your needs. The rapid access to employment track is the next one, number 2. If you want to find a job or career that uses your existing skill set, the rapid access to employment track can help you with your job search. Self-employment track, a lot of folks don't know that the VA's got programs for you to become self-employed. So if you're a service member or veteran with a service-connected disability and employment barrier, the self-employment track can help you start your own business. All right, next one, number 4, employment through long-term services track. If you have a service-connected disability and employment barrier, we can help you get the education or training you need to find work in a different field. This is probably the most common, and that's why people pretty much associate vr&e with this specific track. And I'm going to dive into that one a little bit more here in a second. Last one, number 5, independent living track. If you can't return to work right away, you may qualify for services that can help you live as independently as possible. That's important, right? You need to do that. It's a good thing. So back to the employment through long-term services track. Let's throw out some dollar figures here real quick, and then I'm going to jump into some qualifiers for vr&e as a whole. All right, so there's different aspects. I'm going to kind of go with the most normal, common version here. You're going to an institution for education or training, and you are considered full-time. If you go through this, there's a couple different options, okay? You can be paid up to $3,251 per month while you're going through the program. That's huge. Okay, this is if you have any amount of your post 9/11 GI Bill remaining. If you have any amount of post 9/11 GI Bill remaining, you can mirror that amount. Even if you only have a month's worth, that's fine. They will mirror that and run that as your subsistence allowance at up to $3,251.38 per month. Well, what if you don't have any post 9/11 GI Bill? Well, the VA will still pay you while you're going through the program. If you are with no dependents, veteran alone, full-time, you're $768.42 per month. If you're one dependent, $953.15 per month. 2 dependents, $1,123.23 per month. Any additional dependents, you can add an additional $81.85 per month. So that's how the dollar figures work there. And jumping into, and in fact, I think that they just actually, I gave you 2023's numbers. They went up a little bit. They went up about 3% I think it's 3.2% from that number. And that just went up for this payment that just happened actually this month, your November payment for October's work. So close enough for government work. Moving on. At least it gives you a snapshot. I thought those numbers sounded wrong, but in any case, they're pretty close. So moving on, vr&e, let's talk about the eligibility aspects so you are aware of what you need to do and the 12-year date that's a deadline for you. So hopefully you've hung on, and I'm getting to the 12-year piece, and I might just kind of skip to that right now. We'll skip to the 12-year part, and then we'll jump into the eligibility besides the 12-year aspect. So here's what it is. If you were discharged from active duty before January 1st, 2013, so really it's anywhere 2012 and prior. So if you were discharged from active duty before January 1st, 2013, your basic period of eligibility ends 12 years from one of these dates, whichever's later. Now, one of them is more likely than the other, thankfully. So the two aspects here are, one, the date you received notice of your date of separation from active duty, 12 years from that date, or the date you received your first VA service-connected disability. For most people, that will be what it is. It'll be 12 years from that date. So if you got out in whatever, 1980, and then it took you until 2020 to file a claim, well, guess what? Sucks that you waited that long to file a claim, but now you still got 12 years from the date of your first service-connected disability rating. Now, there are some workarounds. The basic period of eligibility may be extended if the Veterans Readiness Counselor finds that you have a serious employment handicap. Having a serious employment handicap means your service-connected disability significantly limits your ability to prepare for, obtain, and maintain suitable employment. Now, if you were discharged after January 1st, 2013, the 12-year period does not apply to you, thankfully. All right, so when it comes to vr&e, the most common thing, again, is, hey, vr&e, I have a job here, or I don't have a job at all, or I can't continue doing the job I'm doing because of my service-connected disabilities, and I need a different job. Something like this would be better suited for me, and you're communicating with the counselor, and they all agree, and then they look at those two jobs, and they look at you, and they go, okay, well, what are you missing to get to this job? Could be education, it could be training, okay? It could be something like, I love to use the Automotive Dealership Institute as a great example. That organization will cram 1 month of education into your brain on becoming a financial manager for a finance manager for automobile dealerships, RV places, could be motorcycles, could be dirt bikes, could be anything, right? So anything that does that type of financing, they'll help you find a job nationwide. And those jobs, finance manager jobs at dealerships, could pay well over $100,000 into the $200,000s depending on where you're located. So really, really good job. If that is something you're interested in, keep that in your awareness. They could also, you and your counselor could decide that you need to go get a degree in underwater basket weaving, right? So off you go and you go get your bachelor's. I've also seen people go and get their master's. So just depends. You pick the right flavor, but keep the end goal in mind, the job. What job do you want to do? How do you want to boost your income, right, with that job? And what is the right path to get there? Don't just try to get in to go to a school to get a degree that you might not use. Because sure, it's great while you're there, but then when you get out and you don't use that schooling for anything, or it doesn't help you land the job that you want, you'll either A, be working in a job you don't like, right, with that degree as the resource, or you're going to work in a job you like, but the degree doesn't even matter, right? So make sure that you have the end goal in mind. is an important piece. So let's jump into some of the eligibility here. If you are a veteran, are you eligible? Both of these must be true. You did not receive a dishonorable discharge, and you have a service-connected disability rating of at least 10%. And then we got the 12-year time frames that we talked about, which is also important. And then if you're on active duty currently, can you apply? Yes, you can. At least one of these must be true. If you're currently serving in active duty, you would have to have a 20% or higher pre-discharge disability rating, a memorandum rating, and you will soon be leaving the military. Or you're waiting to be discharged because of a severe illness or injury that occurred while you were on active duty. Now, let's see, what else? Is there anything else on here? What kind of services can you get from vr&e? I will share these few bullet points for you here. It says, depending on your needs and goals, services may include a complete evaluation to determine your abilities, skills, and interests for employment. Professional or vocational counseling and rehabilitation planning for employment services such as job training, resume development, and other work readiness support, help find and keeping a job, including the use of special employer incentives and job accommodations, on-the-job training, apprenticeships, and non-paid work experiences, post-secondary education and training at a college, vocational, technical, or business school, supportive rehabilitation services, including case management, counseling, and medical referrals, independent living services to help you live as independently as possible. Here's a question here. If I am eligible for GI Bill benefits, can I get paid the post 9/11 GI Bill subsistence rate for my vr&e program? Okay, I already mentioned it, but let's read what the VA actually says. If you are participating in the vr&e program, you can choose to get paid the GI Bill subsistence rate instead of the Chapter 31 subsistence allowance rate. If you meet both of these requirements, you must meet both of these. You have at least 1 day of entitlement remaining under the post 9/11 GI Bill, and you're within your GI Bill eligibility period. Note, in most cases, the GI Bill rate is higher. You'll need to officially choose the GI Bill subsistence rate. Your VRC can help you with this. All right, so next little snippet here. Will VA deduct my vr&e benefits from my VA and educational entitlement? Good question. Let's read it again. Will the VA deduct my vr&e benefits from my VA education entitlement? If you are using vr&e benefits, we won't deduct entitlement from your other VA education benefits like the post 9/11 GI Bill or Montgomery GI Bill. It says will not, won't. If you use benefits under any other VA education program and then you use vr&e benefits, we'll have to deduct from your remaining vr&e entitlement the amount of time used under the other VA education program. Let's read that one again. If you've used benefits under any other VA education program and then use the vr&e benefits, we'll have to deduct from your remaining vr&e entitlement the amount of time used under the VA education program. So whatever, that is not post 9/11. So, but if you already use the other VA education benefits and we determine that you're eligible for vr&e, we may retroactively approve your previous months of entitlement and return them to the other VA education program. This is called retroactive induction. Ask your VRC if you meet eligibility criteria for retroactive induction. If you want to get more information, I highly suggest working with an accredited representative, or you can try to navigate the VA's website as well. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.